Should we go now? What are these, icebreakers? Go ahead. All right, good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order and start with roll call, please.
We have Councilmember Ross.
Here.
Councilmember Wadler. Here. Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Bailey,
Present, yeah.
who is filling in tonight as in her presidential role for Mayor Cruz, who had a medical emergency.
All right, thank you. Let's go ahead and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone will join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if we want to move right along into public comments.
Sue Devlin, 6th Street, Stevensville. On Monday night, my next door neighbor called and said my whole basement is flooded with sewer water. And I got hold of the mayor, who then got hold of Mr. Lester. By 11:30 that night, I mean, the sewer, raw sewage was this deep in my neighbor's basement. I just wanted to thank Mayor Cruz and Mr. Lassiter for finding out it was 3 manholes down that was blocked. And they did an excellent job and really appreciate it. And as a side, whoever has now made the financial part of the minutes readable, it was always very pale, thank you, because we can read them. Thanks.
Thank you. Any others? All right, let's go ahead and move on to approval of the minutes. The committee of the whole meeting from January 28, 2026. Councilmember Smith.
I move to accept the committee, the whole meeting minutes of 1/28/2026.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any council comments on the minutes? Any public comments on the minutes? Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote on that.
Councilmember Ross.
Aye.
Councilmember Wadler.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
And Councilmember Bailey.
Aye. Okay, next item, approval of the biweekly claims, claims 20211 through 20212, and 20227 through 20267. Councilmember Smith.
I move to accept claims number 20211 to 20212, 20227 through 20267.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right. Any council comments on those claims?
We have something on this, so Robert's going to have to explain this.
Robert, is this document for the claims or?
Which document?
No.
I already explained them that.
That's for the financial report.
Okay, thank you. That's not related to this topic.
Okay.
Claims 20211 through 20212 are left over from last period. Any public comments on the claims?
Public comment or whatever, but there are claims in there you'll see that are for
truck 54 repair. You'll note those will be coming through from time to time. The truck 54 repair, those are not budgeted monies. That's the grant money that we received from the RAP family. The grant fund will reimburse the finances for those claims for truck 54. Just so you're aware of what is going on there.
Is 54 the one that was just donated?
Yes. Yeah, just to clarify that so you know what's going on there.
Any other public comment? All right, Janelle, will you take the vote?
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Wondler, Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
and Councilmember Bailey.
Aye. All right, so moving right along into our administrative reports. First up is the airport.
All right, so for March, circling back to our lighting system and the struggles that we've been having there, we have all the parts now to repair the PAPI system. The receiver that I talked about at the last meeting that is also starting to fail. We were concerned that we were going to have to replace it. It's a nearly 40-year-old receiver, but Aerotronics out of Billings was able to repair it for, instead of $4,500 to replace it, the repair cost was $453. So I feel like that was a big win. Milk a few more years out of the thing before it finally gets up. All the lighting issues are noted out of service with the FAA right now. So we should be getting that receiver back here probably early next week, and then we'll importantly getting all those repairs done out in the field. And hopefully within another week or so here, we can have the system back up and running. Let's see, for CIP projects, Fuel Farm is really pretty well wrapped up as far as it can go right now. It's waiting for the tank to arrive. We were expecting the tank this month. It sounds like right now it's next month. We received a status report earlier last week saying that they were shipping on 4/20. Sounds like they've been able to move that up a few days to 4/10, but we're probably really not expecting to receive it for close to another month from now. At that point, then it'll be wiring, piping, getting everything set, commissioned, and hopefully up and running not too long after that. So a little bit of a delay on that tank, but not terrible right now. The asphalt rehab project, so that bidding closed out yesterday, and so we'll be opening those bids here a little later in the meeting tonight. Fuel sales, we saw, it was still pretty strong in February, not as good as January, but we still saw 410 gallons sold for about $2,200 worth of fuel sales. Aeronautics Board, we did receive our official grant offer paperwork from MDT a few weeks ago. So that's going to go to the airport board for review and recommendation to council to accept it, and we'll be bringing that to council here at the next meeting. And lastly, Missoula Skydiving, their season opens up here on April 17th. So we've been working to address some various issues that developed last season, namely parking and spectators. A lot of people like to show up to watch and they don't really know where to go. So we're really trying to kind of iron that out and designate a parking and spectating area for them. So that's about it. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, building department, I believe, is in the packet, correct, Janelle?
Yes.
All right. Finance.
There are a couple things before you. One was just turned out, as we just gave you with bank reconciliation, and that goes with the cash report. Okay, so you can see in the cash report all the ending balances of funds available, which totals $1,455,308, and that matches back bank reconciliation for the month of February. And that's That's pretty standard where we normally have about 4.4 million right now. Questions with the cash? Okay. Then we have the expenses for the year. Right now, you'll see, there's one called the general fund, you'll see that right there. Right now, we're only 61% for the general fund spent. And we can break it down by the general government, and that's mostly in the office here, 64%. Public safety, 59%, and public works, 64%. And they call it park and recreation, which is park, forestry, swimming pool, splash pad at 61%, 61% total for the general fund. Then the next sheet you'll see is all the other funds. And those funds, all the other funds combined are 40% spent for the year. And a lot of that is because some of the big projects at the airport haven't been spent yet. We still got some money on this water leak project, and we still got to pay some bills on that. So some of those big expenses are not paid out yet, but it's on track, obviously below track where we should be, which is a good thing. We didn't have to spend that money. So any questions with the expenses and where we're at? On any of the funds. Okay, then we have revenue. Right now, we're at 56% of all revenue we expected to receive at this time. The big one there, I mean, it rises, we're only 64%. The big tax check comes in May. We get one in December, and we get one in May. And then we have the gas tax that comes in every month. So right now, we're pretty much on track to meet our revenues, what we expect to meet for the year. Once we get those big checks in. So any questions with that? Okay, and the last thing you'll have in there is a letter from the auditor.
Okay.
We're not there. Was it back?
It's coming.
Okay, any questions?
All right, the fire department, please.
And the report is in the docket. At the end of February, we had 61 requests for service. So at the end of February, we were running at 115 requests for service for the first 2 months of the year. In February, we had 25 into town, Stevensville calls, and 34 within the district. We had 2 mutual aid requests out of that. We had 44 medical calls, 6 fires, and 11 motor vehicle accidents for a total of 61. We had 6 missed calls. So that's kind of running where we normally are. Year to date, we're at 84 medical, 10 fire, and 21 motor vehicle crashes. So we kind of talked about it at the last meeting with Chief Bo that we're seeing more activity on Main Street and streets in town as far as vehicle accidents and those things go, and the vendors and what have you. But this kind of thing, I think, is way more busier in town now than we have been. It's kind of the way it works, I guess. So that's what's going on there. We are a little short-handed on the manpower side. We try to make all the runs that we can, but so far this year, we've missed 13 requests for service. Some of those are kind of an anomaly because sometimes they'll page Stevensville Fire instead of Sewell Fire, and they'll generate a run for us, but it really isn't our run, it's their run. And then we get canceled, they get paged, and it's kind of a dispatch thing. So some of those 13 can be something like that, an anomaly going on, where we were mispaged through the 911 center. So that's what it is. We try to make everything we can, at least get somebody there the best that we can. March is burn month, so we're now open burning. There's open burning in the county now with a burn permit. It's all online, it's all free, it's all easy to do. You need to open a burn permit if you're going to burn within the county. Within the city limits, you have till the end of the month, and then that closes. In the town, opens up again in October within the city limits. But county it's open season. So this weather, it's kind of marginal to be burning. Somebody was out burning their pit again today. So the weather's not real conducive to that, but people are gonna burn when they burn, so it's just kind of the way it is when we live in western Montana. Other than that, we're pretty much business as usual. Christmas lights are coming down this weekend, weather permitting. If we don't have 80-mile-an-hour winds, they'll probably come down. But yeah, that's on the docket to come down this weekend. Yeah, any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you. All right, police department.
Good evening. You can follow along with me, you should have a copy of this in your packet as well. For the month of February, we responded to 49 calls for service. We made 4 arrests, those include adult/juvenile. Initiated or self-initiated traffic stops were 9, we issued 7 citations for motor vehicle violations. And again, I see an upward trend with the traffic accidents. We had 4 for the month of February, as the chief acknowledged, a significant increase in the number of traffic accidents compared to this time last year. We had 1 vehicle tow as a result of an inoperable motor vehicle after a traffic accident. Zeros all the way down. 1 theft for the March of February, 1 assault or partner family member assault. 0 sex crimes, 0 fraud crimes, 0 criminal mischief calls, privacy communication calls, all zeros. And then we had 2 threats and/or / intimidation calls for service. 1 suspicious activity call, which turned into an arrest. And then 4 welfare checks. We had 1 lost and found property item turned into the police department, and then 1 burglar alarm / 911 hang-up call. Pretty uneventful month, which is always good. The town seems to be in good shape. Spent a lot of time out being visible in the community, thus a deterrent would be criminal activity. A couple things of interest, and then if you have questions, Officer Otis Ball he completes his 7th week of the academy tomorrow. He'll start in on the 8th week, and by all accounts, he's doing extremely well down there. Chili Cook-Off is in March 21st, a couple weeks away. By all intents and purposes, it appears like we're on schedule to have probably the biggest and best we've ever had. So a lot of input and a lot of community support. So we look for big things on March 21st. Also, don't want to forget George Golfini is going to have a memorial at the hardware store down here on Main Street, March 21st, and that's in the afternoon. It'll be before the chili cook-off. So I'd like to get a lot of people out there to attend that as well. He was a good friend of mine. So, any questions where we're at with the?
Any updates on the tasers and tough books?
Yeah, so we have all of our tasers in. Matter of fact, if nobody's actually asked for a tour of the squadron, but we've got all the units secured to the wall, mount that, that basically plug in all the tasers and the batteries, and you get the legal updates and stuff like that through the computer program that we have in there. We're waiting on a couple more items so that we can continue the training component of it. Once we do that, in a day, we'll be certified on the Taser X10. You have to certify with the tasers every year annually. So we want to make sure that we do everything by the book. Tough books, those are next on the list. A lot of that depends on how well we do in the upcoming Chili Festival or cook-off. So once we get all that dialed in, then we should be looking pretty good.
All right, any other questions?
Have you had a lot of response to the chili feed?
I'm sorry.
Have you had a lot of response for people?
Oh, it's been amazing, yeah. I mean, not just community-wide, but Bitterroot-wide. We've had people as far down as Darby committing, and as far north as Missoula. There's a lot of people. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, those guys are tremendous supporters, and they'll contribute as well. So we look for a pretty big event. And we've got 19 chili contestants thus far. And we're collecting a great number of auctionable items and just people donating. I went and picked up some things today that we're gonna donate or auction in the event. So people are, they're really latching on, and that's why I can confidently say that this is gonna be a huge success.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, and Public Works.
I don't really have anything except for what's in your report. Unless you got any questions about it.
Any updates on the meters, I think it was 3 sample meters that we have, those still been working well, and
I ordered 5 more.
you did your, okay.
Yeah, and they come here, we'll,
Fine.
a couple
Recipients.
targets, I want to put them in. And I had one that still won't read, one of the old ones. So I think I know pretty much where I want to put them. We just gotta get them.
Okay.
Yeah. They're on the way though.
Any questions from you guys? Okay, I probably should
It's all right here.
done this individually, but do we have any council comments on the administrative reports as a whole? Any public comments? I apologize that I did do that individually. All right. Okay, we will move right along. John Conan here, Stevensville Public Schools.
Good evening, council members and city officials. My name is John Conan. I'm the superintendent of Stevensville Schools. It's my first year, 9 months into this job. Last year, I was the curriculum director in the district, and so decided I really wanted to take on the role of superintendent, and it's been an excellent first 9 months of being here. I'm here tonight to talk to you a little bit about a technology levy that's coming due, and we currently have a technology levy, and since 2013, the laws have changed in how they are administered. So now every 10 years, the tech levy goes back to voters to decide whether they will continue that levy or not. And so I'm here just to ask to make sure people understand we have a vote coming up on May 5th, and we're asking people to reinvest in the tech levy that's already installed right now. We just want to keep moving it forward. And I kind of wanted to make it a little interactive tonight since I'm from school. I hope you guys are okay with that. You guys all right? A little interactive? Okay, all right. We're going to start first with the brain activity. I want you to think back about technology when you were in school. You're in class. I'm going slow just to make sure you guys get a good picture of it in your brain. I look back at mine, think about maybe one computer in the room.
You've had computers.
One. I did learn on typewriters first, and then we went to keyboards, right? Well, when you think of a tech levy, automatically people start thinking about computers, Chromebooks, big monitor screens. In reality, out of the technology that we put into the school, that's only about 10% of what we use it for. And so we have so much different technology. So I'm going to read a story. Okay, it's a pretty short story. I'll show you. It's only 1 page long, so not very long. But another activity I want you to do now is this is today. This is a 5th grader in today's classroom. And I want you to think a little bit about all the things in this story that connect to technology. I'm gonna ask the public here too to help out if our council members can't get all of them. Some of them are kind of hard, but here we go. After missing the bus and coming in from the winter chill, the secretary notices a fifth grader as she recognizes him on the camera. He's showing up late to school a little over an hour. As he walks into the classroom, he's welcomed by a substitute teacher. The fifth grader arrives in the middle of an English language arts lesson, sees that the substitute teacher was doing a direct instruction lesson from a New Line board, and also gives the substitute his lunch count. The fifth grader is worried about missing the first portion of the lesson, as his grade has not been good since his parents last checked. Once the lesson ends, the substitute teacher looks ahead to the next lesson and realizes she doesn't have the login information needed to access the video content. She quickly messages the classroom teacher to request access. After doing the hands-on portion of the English language arts lesson, the fifth grader student grabs his Chromebook and he knows the routine. The next portion of the lesson is tailored to each individual student using the online platform called IXL. At the same time, the fifth grader notices that the Title I teacher is polling students one by one to assess their reading skills with some sort of assessment on the title teacher's laptop. The fifth grader also sees a custodian cleaning up after a student was sick on the floor. Just another day in the life of a fifth grader. So, let's do a little brainstorming. What are all the things that you heard in the story that connect to technology?
There's a lot there.
Right?
I would say that.
Start with the weather.
The camera, I believe you said IXL was one of them.
Sure, IXL is a program we use.
Chromebook.
Chromebook. New Line board where the computer with the screen comes up. What else?
Laptop.
One more time.
Laptop.
Laptop. Yep, the teacher had a laptop. What else? There's about 26 different
Even
things.
code.
She had a phone.
Yeah, she had a phone. She was able to communicate with the classroom teacher. What else?
There was a code she needed.
Yep, she needed a code to log in to a Google system. So we have a Google platform that we pay for. What else?
There was a camera that they saw the kid on Saturday.
Definitely, security system. Our security systems have, we pay for a security system to be able to keep our doors secure as well as cameras all over our campus. What else? You went back, you said something about the weather, right? In order for the buildings to be warm, you would need to, that's all monitored by, it's called the electro system. And so we actually can monitor heat all around the whole campus and keep the heating costs down. That's computerized.
You said something about video content?
Yes, there's video content. We have a lot of the curriculum anymore has, obviously, we're really big on hands-on books and stuff like that. But all these curriculum companies are coming out with pieces of the curriculum that is also has content that is either video or podcast or different types of interactive platforms. So you're correct.
What about communication with the transportation of the buses?
You got transportation of the buses, doing the routes with all the buses. We have a system so parents can actually, they'll know when the bus is getting close to their house. What else?
Curriculum subscriptions.
Yes, unfortunately, there's a lot of curriculum subscriptions. We're really monitoring the fact that we don't want to continue to keep buying these. It's like school and curriculum is turning into Netflix, right? You keep having to pay more and more for these type of subscriptions. So we're really trying to monitor how much money we're putting into that piece of it. But these curriculum companies also know that they can get you by having a subscription. What else?
Assessments.
Yes, the assessments. A lot of our assessments are online, and we're quicker to be able to use data that goes with that. How about the kid that threw up on the floor?
Somebody had to say through on the floor.
Right, so we have a system, a ticket system for our custodial staff to know and track all of the tasks that we need to be done across our campus. We have almost 1,100 students on one campus and 150 staff members, and so we use a ticketing system, and we also track all the tasks and jobs that our custodians and janitors do too through that.
So the mops are Bluetooth now?
The what are?
The mops.
Yeah, right? Mops are not quite Bluetooth, but we have you had to hire the sub, right? So the sub, there's a system for the sub. Subs can now get online and pick and choose which job they want to do. And so it's much easier than when I was back in school, maybe you too, where someone was designated at school to make all the phone calls to substitutes to get them to school. We had to hire the substitute or hire the teacher. So all of our it's called Frontline Software does all of our HR stuff where we get all of their demographics and get them hired through the hiring process. There is lunch count that has a system that's all computerized. Parents can now, as of this year finally, are allowed or can pay online for their lunch food and breakfast.
Attendance.
Yep. Time and attendance for students, but also time and attendance for the staff that are there too. That goes back to that frontline piece. We track when people clock in, when they go. Anyway, I don't want to get. I mean, there are more. There's like 27 things in this one story of a typical fifth grade student. And so 10 years ago, they asked for $75,000 to pay for technology and that they thought would take us through for 10 years, right? What I just named and all the technology that I've found inside of our budget, we're at $500,000 is where we're at with how much out of our budget is paid for with all these systems to be able to run 1,100 students with all of these types of platforms, and let alone the hardware. We have a hardware rotation where we're replacing our Chromebooks and laptops every 5 to 6 years, like industry standard. A lot of them, after 5 or 6 years, are unsupported anymore. And I'm sure you know that with your own computers, you have to update them. And so we try to do it a little bit every single year, so we're not stuck with 1 year having to do all of them across the whole board. We are not a one-to-one district. Some districts are. A one-to-one district is where every single student has a device. Our younger students do not. We don't believe on sticking a whole bunch of our younger students onto for a long period of time onto their own device. So devices are used as supplemental and not the main curriculum. And so I'm trying to dispel that myth a little bit too. But anyway, we're asking for some additional money on top of that $75,000 in both of our districts, the elementary district and the high school district. It's really hard to predict where we're going to go in 10 years. The amount that we're asking for now is going to probably seem similar to us only having $75,000 for what we're doing right now. We also have a technology director that's not even paid out of that technology fund. He's paid out of general fund. So when I talked about the fact that we have $500,000 of stuff that can be paid for with technology money, all that money is coming out of, a lot of it out of our general fund and not out of the technology fund, which drains that from being able to pay people more and to retain and recruit the best and the brightest people here. Now, this is not just a Stevensville problem. This is a problem across the whole state, more or less the whole nation. But in Montana itself, though, when we had this law since 2013, there are other school districts that this year is their year where their 10 years are up. And Lone Rock has an additional tech levy. If you live in the Lone Rock area, they have the same type of levy going on where they're asking for a renewal. And so does Hamilton. There's about 4 of us school districts that our tech levies come up this year. And so I'm here just to raise the awareness of this and to be able to answer questions. I'm going to several different groups, about 12 different groups around the area, and as well as Lone Rock, to be able to get the information out. I'm here tonight with our Vice Chairman, Stephanie Esch. Thanks, Stephanie, for being here. And I would entertain any questions that you might have. I have I know I put in your packets a story that I put in, an article that I put in the Bitterroot Star. I have that same article here for any members of the audience that would like to read it. It kind of goes through what the cost would be for a $100,000 home, $200,000 home, $600,000 home. Like we're asking for, if you live in the elementary district, which also includes the high school district, let's start with let's go with a $300,000 home. You would pay on average $1.48 per month more. In the high school district, which you would include that, would be $1.09 more per month. So even though I said we're asking to make up that $500,000 going forward, when you spread that out across our district and our area, we're asking for you to pay $2.57 per month more on a $300,000 home. And so we're hoping this information gets out. I know there's only a couple things in Montana that you have the ability to vote yes or no for. This is one of them. Our schools across Montana have not been able to pass levies or bonds very much because we know this is one of the things that taxing people is not something that as a society is very acceptable. And I understand that. And so we wouldn't be coming to you if there wasn't a consequence if we didn't pass this. And so obviously not passing this, that takes $75,000 out of both of the elementary budget and the high school budget. And when you're at a budget where 86% of your budget comes from salaries and benefits, you're looking at personnel. So we're looking at personnel and some resources that we would have to start looking at cutting if we're unable to pass this levy going forward. And so that's why I asked people to come out and vote May 5th. My mom was a longtime educator, and she always used to tell me when I was young that someone paid for her education, and so it's her turn to invest it forward. And so that's what I'm asking, hopefully, us to do on May 5th.
All right, thank you, John. Stephanie? We need you to public comment on that. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Item A is going to be discussion decision of approved Grant Creek Excavating LLC contract for sump replacement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pending hearing review.
Councilmember Ross.
I move that we approve the Grant Creek Excavating LLC contract for sump replacement.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Thank you. Councilmember Wandler has seconded. Councilmember Smith, did you have a comment or question on the topic?
No, not yet.
Okay. So this is from unfinished business from our last meeting we had. Call. And I believe this has already been budgeted for, correct, Robert? Yes. Any council comment or question? Anything from the public?
Good evening, council members. You all know me, I'm Bob Michelson. I was the mayor before Jim Cruz took over, first of the year. And the reason I'm here is because of this unfinished business item. I'd like to give you a little history on how we got to that. So in February of 2024, Elva Mello, who lives at that location where that Smith and Heritage and Smith and Valley View, where all the water runs down, and Mr. Anderson can attest to that. It all goes down to that sump drain right in front of his house. So he came to my office and wanted to know if I could do anything about that spot. Well, that spot's been that way a long, long time. He said that he had asked the 3 previous mayors before me to do anything and nobody would do anything. I told him I would look into it. Well, at the time, we were doing the ARPA grant also. So I thought, well, if the ARPA grant, all that kind of money, I'll just squeeze it into that. So I put it in for it, waited, and then we were told in May that I got it in too late by 2 months, which I didn't know. I was just in office, so. I told them we'd have to wait until this next year, which was 25. So we put it in the budget under the gas tax. In November of this last year, Steve and I and Caleb of HDR met at the location in front of Mr. Arva's house. We looked it over. Caleb said he would get some bids. And then we had a meeting in here, December, right? Yeah, December with Caleb. He had said he had gotten hold of some contractors. Like I said, this was in dollars, and I think the quote says 15,000 or something. We think this should be approved. It should get done. It's only like 20 years. I talked to George Thomas today at the hardware store, and he said that thing's been an eyesore when he was working. When he started working, and that was like 2002. So anyway, thank you. I hope you support it.
Thank you, Bob. Any other comments or questions? Anything further from the council? All right, let's call for a vote then.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Wandler,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
and Councilmember Bailey.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes 4-0. Do I have to say that or? Okay, all right.
Appreciate it.
Okay, sure. All right, moving right along to new business. Item A is discussion decision of our late fee on water and sewer bill. Do we have a Miss Carmel Sayer here this evening? All right, we will go ahead and move right on along to item B, which is informational, and that is the conclusion governance letter from fiscal year 24-25. That is just in your packets for informational. Any comments from the council on that?
We talked about it last meeting, but was able to sit in on the meeting and everything went really well. And just want to congratulate the finance team again on good work. Thank you.
All right, any public comment? Council, do you need a few more minutes or may I move on to item C? All right. Okay, moving right along. Item C of bids for pavement rehabilitation of Stevensville Airport. Janelle, did we receive any bids?
We received 2.
Okay.
The first bid that was received is from Contracting Inc. at 404 West Greenwood Avenue, Butte, Montana. And just bear with me for just a second while I get to the right page. So on page 4, under Schedule 1 pavement rehabilitation, the total for Schedule 1 was $334,234.23. The second one that we received is from Knife River, 4800 Wilkie Street, Missoula, Montana, 59808. Same page, page 4, Schedule 1, pavement rehabilitation, the total schedule, $428,670.00. So can I give a quick explanation of what will happen next?
I would love that.
So what will happen next is after the meeting tonight, both of these will be scanned and sent over to Tyler Reed with Morrison Rarely. And they will be reviewed by you guys just to make sure that all of the pages were filled out correctly, if there's anything that has questions or things that are missing. Then it will be included in the airport board's agenda packet for next Monday night's meeting at 6 p.m., where they will also review these two bids and give their recommendation back to the town council at a special town council meeting on Thursday, the 19th at 6:30. And that's when we'll award from there. Anything, Brian or Tyler, that you need to add?
I think you nailed it.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we are.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any comments on that from the council? Any comments from the public on that? All right, rolling right along, item D of new business, opening of bids for surplus items up for sale. Janelle, did we receive any bids?
We received no bids on the 3 items. One was a fire truck out of the fire department, and the other were 2 trucks out of the public works department. No bids were received.
All right. Any council comment on this? Any public comment on that? All right, moving right along, item E, discussion decision awarding the bids for surplus vehicles. No action to take on that as we have no bids to review. Item F of new business is discussion decision, request for waiver of a $20 per day electricity fee for the 2026 market season. That is in your packets. Councilmember Ross.
I move that we approve the request for waiver of $20 per day electricity fee for 2026 market season.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? A second? All right. Let's see here. Let me get to that in my packet. Okay, is Jess Bundren here this evening? Okay, any council comments on this topic?
Is there a rep here for the market?
Stacey.
I have a question for her, if it's possible.
I'll allow it, yes.
Stacy, it says that you want to meter our own electricity usage throughout the season. Do you have a meter for that?
We are working on getting a meter for that, and we are talking about doing it in a good faith to pay the town back for that as well.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Can I ask if Stacy has anything that she wants to say?
No, I hope that you guys really consider this because it has been an event this will be our 20th year in service for the town of Stevensville, and for us to be able to actually give money back to the community as well. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that $400 and some could go to a community organization that may need that, so.
I think it's a reasonable request. If we've got 20 years of history of them being reliable, no issues with any sort of payment, so I think it's a reasonable ask of them.
All right, any other council comment?
I'm wondering how, I think past has proven itself that they're reliable and dependable and honest, so I don't see a problem with this.
I do have a question of how the electricity will be metered or collected.
We're working on getting a metered box, similar to what Jim was talking about for the town. Again, it's just researching to find which one is actually a reliable source. We have, right now that we do use 3 different plugins, Cotton Candy, which is very minimal, our music, and then our food truck. That's the only thing that we use that for. Last year, we came to the town of Stevensville also asking to put in a extra power pole that we would actually help out with the cost of that, and that was kind of pushed along the side. So we're trying to work with everybody, and we're thankful that you guys are working with us as well. So hopefully we'll have, you know, like I said, a box of some sort that will meter to see what we actually are using for.
Do you guys feel that it would be appropriate to table this until our special meeting next week so that they have time to collect a method of metering their electricity?
Can we just put a statement in there that they have to have the meter before the first market day?
Like they have to have a method of collecting them. I
Versus
believe,
tabling it?
is it tabling it? I don't know.
Versus tabling it?
Okay, gotcha. I think we would be able to do that. Janelle, do you see any logistical issues with that? Okay.
Right now, you guys have a motion to approve the request along with your second.
No.
Mhm.
Would that be a motion to amend?
And add.
I make a motion that we amend the motion to add the requirement for a means to the electricity usage prior to the first market day.
Say that one more time.
I make a motion that we amend the motion to add the requirement for a means to monitor the electricity usage prior to the first market day.
All right, we have a motion to amend the original motion, and that would mean that we are adding a requirement that they have the means to monitor the electricity prior to the first market day. Do we have a second? All right, thank you, Councilmember Wongler. Councilmember Smith, do you have a comment or question?
Yeah, for Stacy again, are you aware that you're going to need a 50 amp meter?
Yes, I believe that's,
Yeah, we found that out last time that it's a 50 amp service there. So you have to have something big enough to carry that.
All right, any other comments? Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Wandler,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
and Councilmember Bailey.
Aye. All right, motion passes. New business G, discussion decision, proposal for reducing rates for the SELC Children's Swim. And this is going to be a discussion decision. Let's get over there.
I may get a motion that we discuss the proposal for reducing rates for SELC children swim.
Okay, I don't know, do we need a second? We can have a second for that. I think it's already on the agenda that we are, but let's do it anyway, just for cleaning up. We have a second on that motion.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. Okay, discussion open for reducing rates for the children's swim. Any council comments on that?
Do we have a representative here?
Yes. So I am Jamie Devlin. I'm the chair for SELC, or Sapphire Early Learning Center. We're a nonprofit early learning center for infant to 12 years old. What we are trying to accomplish this summer is we have a summer program every year. We're trying to include more children in that, more activities, and use our local resources. We average between 10 to 40 children of different age groups. We are asking for a reduction of rate to be able to provide our 3 to 12-year-olds an option to swim once a week and also participate in swim lessons. We're not asking for a special session for any of you to utilize your time that you have available. Because we're nonprofit, because the children that we serve do not come from families that are, our area is not multi-millionaires by any means. We are asking for that reduction. We feel that it would be a great opportunity to use the pool. The majority of these children are not current families that use those facilities or even know that they're here. So it is potential for you to receive more money by having, a broader area. We would bring you more children, more families. We would provide 2 to 3 teachers along with the children, and at any given time we would have 10 to 20. So we would not bring all 40 at one time. So the thought is allow the children to swim 1 day a week. Whether we bring them all on the same day or split that into 2 different days, different times, obviously, and then participate in the ability to have swim lessons. So those would be spread out in different chunks throughout the summer. We're asking, right now, I believe you do $5 a day. We're asking for $2 a day, or because it's a 12-week period, it would be $24 per. For the swim lessons, currently right now, you charge $75 for the group. We're asking for a reduced rate of $65 per group. With that said, it's not in the proposal that I wrote, but our teachers, to be able to provide 2 to 3 of them to come with, we would ask that we had no charge for those teachers. With that proposal, we do understand you may or may not be able to meet that request. So we are open to whatever you see would be appropriate as well.
Council comment on that?
Jimmy, I don't understand what the Sapphire Early Learning Center is.
We are an early learning center for infants to 12-year-old children. So
It's operating out of Stevensville.
yes, we're
Is that the
nonprofit.
one up at the Methodist Church?
It is attached to the Methodist Church, not part of the church, but it's attached to it, yes.
And just for clarification, you're just asking for specifically the students themselves, the reduction.
Yes, and then the teachers that we would provide would not have a charge.
How many students is that again?
We would have anywhere between 10 to 40.
Okay.
We would divide that into different periods. You would not see all 40 children at one time. You're welcome.
Are the students in this organization, are they from all walks of life,
Correct.
rich and poor and.
Yes, the majority of our children that we serve are in a Best Beginnings, which is a scholarship program. So they pay a reduced rate. So that is why, I mean, again, we're not in this to make money. We're in it to take care of children, right? And enrich their lives. So we can't turn around being a nonprofit. We don't have money. We're not in a business to make money. But who we serve, we can't go to them and say, hey, by the way, we want to provide your child swimming lessons. Give us more money to do that. Like, we can't do that. That's not right. It's an extra service that we want to provide to the children that we have to absorb that cost.
All right, any other questions for Jamie?
Julie, did you have anything?
No, you covered it out really well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Robert, can you give us kind of an overview of the health of the finances of the pool?
Yes, I can. So, last 4 years, okay? Last 4 years in the pool, we've lost $37,000 in the pool and $8,900 in the splash pad. All come out of the general fund. This year, we have a issue with labor because our lifeguards were getting paid $12 an hour last year, and that's not gonna fly anymore because you go up and get the, $16, $18 an hour doing just about nothing at a fast food place. And so we really don't have any returning lifeguards. And so if we were gonna increase the pay to $15 an hour, that'd be another $7,000 in wages, which would still be a loss. If we had to go to 16, that'd be $10,000 of a loss. So it operates at a loss anyway, but there is some of what Jamie said is kind of good because they would be bringing kids that would normally not come to the pool to swim. That's always, a positive. $10 on the swimming lessons loss, but the pool, we don't know for sure if the pool will even be open because the biggest, I think when they go look at the pool the next month or the month after, they'll realize what the cost is gonna open the pool when they see the crack, whatever the problem is, always comes up in April, May timeframe. And so without going through the budgeting process and seeing where we sit, if we take a loss, I can't even tell you if the pool's gonna be open, but that would be your guys' decision, you go through the budgeting process. But I would say if it would be good to take a look at it because once we have, more people coming to the pool, that does bring in a little more money than maybe they wouldn't go.
Yeah, even at a reduced rate.
Even at a
It's still
reduced-
more than for that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
It may be in the packet, I missed it. Oh, it looks like it is. You intend to start in June if the pool opens in June? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're flexible. Our summer program is June through August. So it's end of school to beginning of school. But if it's not open, that's, right, I get it. Then we start in July or, whatever the case may be.
Do they still have, annual fee if your kids go down there all the time?
Pass, yes.
Huh?
Yeah, we have season pass.
So there's a possibility that some of the kids would have season passes anyway.
Our kids do not have season passes to the pool. The majority of them don't even know that there is a pool in the survey that we did. Yeah. In complete honesty, the majority of our families can't afford a pass to the pool.
And that pass for those kids would be $80.
Yeah.
Yeah, from last year's rate.
Councilmember Smith, go ahead.
Jamie, have you taken a survey to find out if they can even do the $24?
We would cover the $24.
Very well.
Yeah, we would not have our families absorb that cost.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, I would like to make a recommendation that we go ahead and table this until we have our COW meeting next week and have a little bit more of an opportunity to go through our finances and understand what we're operating with the pool. but I don't know if I can make a motion, so I don't know.
Make a motion that we table this until more information is received after the Cal meeting next week.
Thank you, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Oh, second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any council comment on that motion or the topic in general? Public comment on that. All right, Janelle, go ahead and take the vote on that.
Tabling this.
We're tabling, yes.
You guys are having your Cal meeting next week, and then we'll look at bringing it back.
Correct.
Got it. Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Wandler?
Aye.
Councilmember Smith?
No,
And Councilmember Bailey?
Aye. All right, motion passes. Let's see. New business, item H, seeking permission to install temporary book walk signs in Lewis and Clark Park or other public park in Stevensville. This is up for discussion and decision.
Sorry, will somebody let us know, or do we need to come back, or?
Yes, I know.
Okay, sure, thank you. Thanks, Jen.
Do we have anyone present presenting on this topic? Come on up. Sorry, what was your name?
Lisa DeMoss. I'm from North Valley Public Library. Thank you so much for letting me come and seek permission for this great program. Back in 2020, the town worked with the library to do a story walk, and the story walk is simply posting a book along a walkway or a park to encourage early literacy outside and incorporating exercise and reading. And I'm not sure why it faded. I've only been at the library about 4 years, but we would love to get it going again. And all we need is permission to post. I think it's about a dozen signs we have, metal signs. They look like the realtor signs that would just be like stuck in the grass. We were hoping Lewis and Clark Park might be a good opportunity where there'd be a lot of exposure for families. And I brought a couple samples if council members would like to see. Like currently, we have Do Hot Chocolate by Etta Kaner, and it describes how animals keep warm. So it's actually a nonfiction in the winter, which is just a really fun one. But we've got lots of fun books. And if anybody had copyright questions, it's a really good question. As long as we do not change anything from a book that we've already purchased, simply laminate it, it's okay by copyright. And this program was started in Vermont, and so as long as we post their Story Walk trademark project was created by Ann Ferguson at the start of our walks, then we're covered that way too. But the library would be very happy to install and deinstall them through the summer as permitted. Thank you.
Lisa, do you have a time frame of how long the laminations will be posted in the park?
We're totally at your whim at what you think is appropriate, but I was thinking a couple of weeks at a time. Weather is going to start to probably fade them. We have about 10, I believe, that are ready to go like this. And we have different ways of Velcroing them on the metal sign and such. But yeah, maybe 2 weeks to 4 weeks per story, unless anybody had another idea. But mainly just when the weather permitted. So it would be actually wonderful if we could start it ASAP. But for sure during the summer would be fantastic.
and so,
Go ahead.
you're wanting it at both parks?
Well, we only have about 12 signs, and we probably need all 12 signs for each story. So just like Lewis and Clark Park would be fantastic. Yeah, just one at a time. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other council comment? Janelle, did you have something as well?
I just need to comment that the only thing I can think of, and Lisa's really good about this anyways, is that she just lets us know ahead of time at town hall, just to make sure that there's not already something that's a paid event that's been scheduled at Lewis and Clark Park. But other than that, just her keeping in contact with us of when she wants to put it up and making sure that there's not something already scheduled at the park that might interfere with that for you guys as well. That'd be my suggestion.
Thank you, Janelle. Council comment? All right. Comments from the public? Do we have a motion? I don't think we do. Any motions?
Didn't.
No, we just jumped right in and had Lisa present. Sorry. We don't. Oh my gosh. Do we need a motion on this? It's discussion decision?
Yeah,
correct?
we had a technical difficulties the other night when reloading the packet and those two words removed themselves from that, so discussion decision, please. Yes.
Oh, this is, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
I make a motion that we approve the seeking permission to install temporary book walk signs in Lewis and Clark Park or other public park in Stevensville.
Second the motion.
All right, and a second, any other council comment on that?
I'm fine with the Lewis and Clark, just specifying that.
Okay, so the motion is specifically for Lewis and Clark Park, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to report that.
They asked for other public parks, but we're gonna go with Lewis and Clark. Is what Councilmember Ross is asking for clarification.
We can leave it.
We leave it open for them.
Okay, that's fine.
That would be lovely. Do we need to amend our motion, or is that fine?
We did in full the first time around, we're okay.
Beautiful. Yep. All right, any public comment on that motion? Let's go ahead and take the vote.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Wondler,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
and Councilmember Bailey.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank
Get
you,
her
Lisa.
Thank you so much.
I do have a question for you. Whatever happened to Dick and Jane?
Grandparents.
What was their name? What was the name of their cat? Spot and, what was the cat's name?
Was it?
I don't know. Okay, moving on to new business, item I, discussion decision, resolution number 415A, a resolution amending 415 to make a land donation to the town of Stevensville via Ravalli County Resolution 3600, a permanent part of the Stevensville River Park. I think the presenter for this item would really be Jim Cruz, who is not here tonight, and so it would be my suggestion that we table this and wait for him.
Well, that was going to be my suggestion.
Well, you can make a motion.
Just, there you go. There.
Yeah, let's table this.
Motion.
Yeah, I move that we table item I until we can have the mayor back present with us.
All right, we have a motion to table item I of new business. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Ross seconds. Any council comments on that? Any public comments on that? Bob, come on up.
Good evening again. So I came here originally for that unfinished business on the sump that you approved, thank you. And when I looked at the agenda, and I seen at the bottom and I saw this, I thought, damn, Bob, you're old. Because I was on the council in 17 when that was first brought before then Mayor Jim Cruz in his first term. And then I was also on the council in 22 when it was brought up in March of 22 under unfinished business. And that motion died at a 2-2 vote. And here it is again. So, but I have a few comments that I'd like to give to you, and you can take them for what they're worth. Some of it is my experience. Some of it is being a mayor. So, resolution 415 on the property across the River Park. Has this been taken to the park board for review? Usually something like that, which should go before the park board. I know it's been a while. If you look at the March 2022 minutes, you'll see where I asked Vicki Motley if that had gotten went to a park meeting and she said, yeah, they had a few years before. And they had some ideas mainly just for parking there, parking area, to alleviate the traffic across the river that the people were putting their boats in. Of course, this is before the time of the Fish and Wildlife and Park that did all that out there now. They put parking out there, places to camp. I mean, it really looks nice, so. So we have another, it should go before the park board, in my opinion, because it's been so long, like 8 or 9 years. I think the park board should review it to see if there's any ideas they might have. Has the mayor checked with the finance department regarding the liability of this with MMIA? Because if we're gonna take on more property and it is close to the river with that bank, then I think MMIA should be involved at some point to see if there's a liability issue, if it will raise our rates or not. Has members of the town council been out to this site to look it over? Other than just looking at the map, have you all walked out there and walked around, see where it is, the grade? Because I know in 22, a couple council members, they hadn't been out there. They thought it was further down. So there was confusion there, so. Has members of the council talked with Public Works and the Parks Director to see what their take is on it? Long after this vote is taken, whether you accept it or not, Public Works, staff, they all have to, whatever you tell them to do, they're gonna have to find a way to do it. And of course, last but not, we have a budget. And Wally knows, I harped on it and harped on it. There's gonna be a shortfall this year. Nobody knows what it is, but that affects the general fund and that affects our park system. So if we're going to take on another piece of property out there for park, we have to wait either you're going to fix it or whatever you're gonna do with it, we have to find a way to fund it. Because it doesn't do any good if you can't fund it and it just sits out there. And that's one of the reasons why the river park doesn't get much love. Because we just don't have the money. Last summer, if it wasn't for the two banks giving us $5,000 donations apiece, we would have made it. We would have been sunk, as he knows. We live off donations. We live off goodwill. The ladies here, they do fundraisers in the house here, selling candy or whatever down there, out of their own money, to raise money for the parks. And like I say, this year, you guys have the task of this budget. I hope it does look good. I look at it. Thanks to Gina and Robert and the staff, department heads keeping the costs down. You might be able to roll it over this year and not have to make cuts. But it's gonna get ugly. Next year, you're gonna really get ugly because of the property taxes that go down. It affects the mill levies, it affects the general fund. And I also like to say, it could or couldn't add to the budget. But either way, I think you should look real closely at this. Yes, they don't make property anymore. And I'm not trying to say I'm for it or I'm against it. But I think you should always get together with the finance department. And get together and don't be afraid to talk to Janelle and Andrina. Because people that come into town hall, they necessarily might not give you a call or an email. They'll come in here and tell them what's going on all the time. And they know, they're the ears of the town. They really are. So something like this, I think it should be looked at real closely. And budget season's coming up. I would suggest that you all find something, go to the park board and have a great idea. And you should hopefully find a way to fund it, but it's gonna be tough because these guys here, they're working their butts off in about another month or so when they start mowing. We have 6 parks in town, plus 2 cemeteries. And from May to October, 2 of these guys with this town, all they do is sit on a lawn. They don't have time to do much else unless there's an emergency. So you have to keep that in mind. We have limited people that work out there too. And if you add another park out there, that means they're gonna have to drive out there, which takes fuel, gas, time, do whatever you want them to do. Anyway, thank you for your time. And I also want to say a special thank you to the 2 new council members from Ward 2. Thank you for stepping up and doing it for public service. It's a tough job, but it's a great honor and a pleasure. And the more you get into it, the more you get out of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Did I see a hand up back there? Jimmy, come on up.
I really didn't have anything to say until, I'm a frequent, my name is Jim Battisti, I live at 201 Mission. I'm a frequent visitor to the river and have been for over 20 years. I've gained access to the river at the bridge from all sides and ways. And this particular piece of property that's being discussed, it doesn't have the utility that would maybe outweigh the liability in my personal, because it's a place to park and maybe 1 or 2 cars, but after that it gets kind of squeezed. And to get to the river, you got to really go down quick. And so even launching a boat there, it's not really something that it became a deal when the river got closed down by, well, that's a whole nother story, right? The river got closed down and then the town couldn't have access to it. And at the time, Cruz was mayor and unfortunately couldn't find a way to open it up. So that other side of the river was the big deal. Look, we can gain access to the river, but you can't have 2 cars parked there and really nothing to, there's a really nice fishing slot right there. So if you do get down there, thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Any other comments from the public?
They both bring up a good point. It's, I'm just gonna stay neutral on it, but it's not a user-friendly spot. So come out there and let me show you where it's at. I'll be here tomorrow, I'll be here next week. Follow me out there, jump in my truck, I'll take you. And give me your idea where you would put a picnic table there. Well, me and Jerry have looked at it and I don't know, I'm not in love with it. It's pretty steep. It's already eroded there if more people walk up and down there. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not bad to have it, but to develop it where somebody can use it, I don't know. I don't know if it's possible in the way that you might want to be able to. So let's check it out.
Thank you. Any others?
I mean, these are all good points that are going to develop it as a park, but one thing that it does give you, it gives you contiguous land. The town would then have contiguous land on the other side of the river for future development across the river, as far as annexation would ever go, or anything like that. It would give you a leg up to proceed down that road, which would bring in a huge tax base to the town, which would help offset the budget deficit. Yes, it would cost to do that development, but it would give you an avenue to be able to do that development. That's another thing to think about. That is, you're tabling it until you get your thoughts together.
Did you have something, Bob? Okay.
So I forgot to mention, in 22, the reason why I voted no on it is because on resolution number 3600, the original one, if you look down there where it says, wherefore it is hereby resolved that the county approves the transfer without charge of the land described hereon to the town of Stephenville to be used as park or recreational grounds upon the condition that in the event that the land ceases to be used for such purposes for a period of 5 years in succession, the title shall revert back to Ravalli County. So I asked that question to the mayor at that time. Does the 5 years start when it is given to the town, or was it the 5-year period for when this was given to the town from the county? Because this was in 2017 and the 5 years is long gone. That's something maybe the attorney should look at.
Didn't we hear back from the county that they didn't want it back?
I heard that verbatim in words, but I never got it on the council. I never got anything in writing on that. Other than, oh, the county doesn't want it back, but nothing in writing.
Okay, then I heard it from you. All right. Okay.
You're right though, but I never heard anything, in writing. I never got an answer, from Mayor Gibson, so.
I say a lot of the things you brought up are some of the same reasons I wanted to table it. So I need to look a little deeper.
Thank you.
All right, any others? Janelle, will you call for the vote?
To table item I.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Wandler?
Aye.
Councilmember Smith?
Wait a minute, what are we voting on?
Tabling
To
item.
table it, yeah, aye.
And Councilmember Bailey?
Aye. All right, motion passes. We are tabling I. Moving on to item 10, board reports. Any board reports? All right, item 11, town council comments. Do you guys have anything to comment on this evening?
The only one I had was already brought up about George's memorial, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I already went into the hardware store and already missed it.
Yeah.
All right, item 12, executive report. I have nothing prepared, so we can skip right over to adjournment if we have a motion to do so. Councilmember Ross.
Motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All right, adjourn. Thank you guys. Aye.
Good job, Melissa.
Thanks, guys.
Good job.
Okay.
So I'll give